Hey, happy Friday,
Hello.
everybody.
Happy
REI
Friday,
Happy Hour at
everyone.
5. As you can
Exactly.
see, I got my beautiful, lovely wife joining me for this Friday's happy hour. So welcome,
Yes.
everybody. Um, Glad it's another Friday, and the weekend is upon us. So that's always a good thing, even though, like we all say, real estate never sleeps. But it's at least we get a little bit of a break now and then, right?
Right. Oh, wow. The sun's really hitting my face now. Okay.
Yeah, it is. But it's okay. It's
So,
all right.
super excited to be here. Danny is doing something today. He wasn't able to show up, correct?
Yeah, he's at a wedding, if I'm correct.
Oh, okay.
I could be
Awesome.
wrong, but I don't forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's at a wedding. So, he should be partying it up a little bit, I would think. So that's a good thing. So this week, it should be a good week. We got some good information to share with you. Before we get into that and we do everything else, and start and introduce our guest and everything, just wanted to let everyone know, the month's almost over. September is close. You're going to be getting into the fourth quarter. So it's always a busy time of the year. I don't personally, Maria, I don't know if you have anything. I don't think we have any events or anything coming up that I can recall off the top of my head. I don't know if you know of anything, right? We don't have anything right now, right?
Not right now that I can think on top of my head. It's just our lives that we do every week. Monday, we have a live in Spanish. I believe 7 or 8 o'clock in Spanish in Campos Capital Group, FB. Then we have our Thursday Jueves de Conexiones and Friday. So nothing yet when it comes to
Yeah, no live events coming up as far as we know.
no in-person
that we
events.
have. Yeah,
Hydra just did a really good one just recently. I know they talked about it in one of these book lives. That was pretty good.
Yeah, and that was in Maryland, right?
Yeah, Francisco saying, Ken, no tequila. You don't have tequila today.
No tequila today. I'm about to share what I'm drinking, but I can tell you in advance it is not tequila. so no tequila today. But hey, it is what it is. But that being said, I want to introduce our guest and also do our favorite part, or my favorite part of the show, and that's share what we're drinking. And then we will get moving on the questions. And here we go. I want to introduce Alfredo Sanchez. It's okay I call you Will, right?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay.
Hi, Will. How are you?
Excited. Happy Friday, everyone.
We will introduce him in more depth in a moment. But again, let's do the favorite part. I will share what I'm drinking first. I'm just doing straight. Well, not straight. Well, yeah, straight, but with an ice cube. So on the rocks, I guess. Some bourbon. So that's what I'm drinking today. Keeping it light.
Yeah, right. Just kidding.
Salud.
How about
salud.
you, Maria?
I have, I'm drinking a cranberry and vodka. So
Okay.
you can't go wrong with cranberry and vodka. Refreshing. So salute. Cheers to
Very
all.
nice. Cheers. And how about you, Will? What are you drinking?
From Nicaragua, beautiful
Oh.
country. They love rum, so flor de caña and a splash of club soda.
Ooh,
All
love
right.
it.
What year is that?
18.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've
I
had
know
that
a lot of people
before.
like it
Very
on the
good.
rocks. So it's good.
Yeah, it's a little too strong for me, so I like to last long all night long. So I have a bottle to go.
Exactly.
Yeah. 18. Isn't there one above 18? Is there a 20 year?
25.
25 year. I can't remember if it was the 18 or the 25 that I tried. It did taste like rum to me. It tastes like a good whiskey.
I
Like-
think honestly, 12, 18, and 25, it doesn't taste like rum. It tastes like whiskey. It's really close taste. Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember that, and I was like, "Oh wow!" And I'm not even a real big rum guy, but when I had that, I'm like, "Oh, this is good. This is really good."
And this is
But,
really refined because I grew up in my high school times when I was rookie and drinking rookie. It was 7 years and below.
I Great. So let's just get into it. I'm gonna let you tell a little bit about yourself. You got you know some personal things, but also just tell a little bit about your career and what you're doing now.
Well, technically, originally from Nicaragua, so I've been this, yes, from the hottest part of the country, so 100 degrees plus is welcome. Um, I've been in the state for 23 years. I've been going to a long journey. I'm a dreamer, like many millions of like immigrants that we come into this beautiful country looking for an opportunity. I always tell people it's like I didn't came, my mother bring me over.
Right,
um,
right.
so, but 23 years that is being divided between different states, thanks to the opportunities to have like a soccer scholarship. 5 years later that I arrived into the country, I was bringing from Miami, Florida, all the way to Texas. Not know the language, but I have the big dream to basically complete and accomplish my education. So thanks to the skills of playing soccer, I have the opportunity to get my undergrad degree, and take me to Texas, then Mobile, Alabama. But between Alabama and Texas, I was able to travel a lot with the school. I have games every other day, so I was in the bus every other day. So I have the opportunity to travel a lot. um, Recently in 2015, I have the opportunities to move into Maryland for family reasons. But I started my banking career right after college. So I started my career in banking with Chase in 2010, and back in Houston, Texas. Have the opportunities to have like a great trainings. I always tell that it's like every bank is a school. They have their own culture, their own way to basically training you, and a lot of resources to give you and build me up. So I have the opportunities to start with Chase, then eventually move to West Fargo. And during the West Fargo time, I have to basically move from Houston to Maryland. Few months later, after I arrived in Maryland, I was joined SunTrust, what now is Truist, and I've been building like this long banking career with like small business banking at the beginning with Chase, then management with West Fargo and SunTrust. And most recently, like a years ago, I had the opportunities to basically kind of graduate right in banking and move from the retail into the commercial side. And that to me was a huge jump, and it was a huge change, and the way that I basically have the opportunity to help more clients is more personal now. It's more tailored. It's more like a white glove service that I have the opportunity to bring now. That in my previous banking career, I didn't have that kind of like flexibility to go above and beyond. Like most of these large institutions saying that we always do it, but it's like now I have the opportunity to do so. I mean it. I basically do a lot of targeting service. So I research the clients that I want to look at it and and connect with them. And it's a more like a private banking that I'm basically able to complete now.
Very
Awesome.
nice.
Wow. Very nice. Impressive. Are you still playing soccer? That's the question of the year.
Yes, I still do so. Not much like I would like to. My body doesn't helping me much at this point. I still trying to, not trying to gain so much weight. But the reality is that in my senior year in college, I turned my ACL, so I have to basically go into a surgery, and that was my first ever injury, and that
Oh, wow.
basically changed the whole game. I mean, I get injury in November, and back then when I graduate MLS, it was not what it is now. But it's like they already have some kind of like drafting, and I have the opportunity to go draft in January, but I have to go into a surgery. So I say, forget about it. I already get my degree. This is what it means to happen. It's time for me to go back to the workforce.
Exactly. Well, that's good. That's good that you were able to play mostly your whole college career too,
Yeah.
with the exception
Yes,
of the
I've
last
been.
year.
Well, I remember it's kicking the ball and running like behind the ball.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So,
Nice.
so Will, we thank you for joining us today. We wanted to have you because we wanted to talk. I know that you're working with MNT in the commercial side, so we wanted to take,
No,
talk to
sorry,
you.
I work for First Citizens.
First citizen.
Well, I'm so sorry. First Citizen.
That's okay. That's fine. That's fine.
I am sorry. Right before I got on
No.
this live, I was talking to somebody that had just told me something about MT. So First Citizens, my apologies.
Yeah, First Citizen. No worry, but it's okay.
Okay,
In fact,
okay.
let me tell you, a lot of people doesn't know about First Citizen, but it's like lately, this year, I mean, recently this year, it's easier for me to relate First Citizen because we was the bank that who actually purchased the Silicon Valley Bank out of California. That it was like a,
So you guys are that bank. Okay.
we are that bank. Yes, we are that bank.
Well, I am excited. I'm even more excited that you're from First Citizen because I don't know, and I don't think Ken, you don't know too much about First Citizens.
I didn't know until
Oh,
I
really?
got invited.
So before we even get into maybe some of their products, tell us your experience for those people that have other banks. We have a lot of investors that watch us that have other banks. Is First Citizen a nationally? Where are you guys located? And all over. Tell us about just like we'll get more into detail about some of the products, but just a brief summary of what First Citizen is.
Well,
and
let
why
me start
you chose
saying.
to work with them.
Yes, that's a great question. Listen, after so many years already working for Chase, Wells Fargo, and Truist, one of the top three largest banks in the nation. When I get invited, I was invited. I mean, it's like a recruiter one day actually sent me an email and say, "Hey, Will, we actually kind of tracking you background and your experience. I think you will be a right fit for us. You will give us an opportunity to talk to you. We have something great to offer you." And honestly, I didn't know anything about First Citizen. I think it's like what is really helping me was the craziness of the transition, the merge between SunTrust and BB&T.
Oh, mergers are hard.
That actually built a muscle that I didn't know that I have, by the way. I don't regret to basically go through that time. It was crazy. I lose all my hair because the merge.
Is crazy.
But quite honestly, First Citizen is a very unique institution. For many, many years, I truly believe that it's like banks are banks. The only thing that changed is the name and the logo, but it's banks are banks. Not until basically First Citizen showed me there is a different way to banking. And not because I work for this company. By the way, I personally been experimenting like a huge experience with them as an employee that I can tell that it's like everything started with me at the personal level, and I basically expanded and share that with my clients. It's the largest owner, family-owned and controlled bank in the nation.
Oh, wow!
Recently, in the second quarter, thanks to the obviously the acquisition for Silicon Valley Bank, we actually become the most profitable bank in the nation in the second quarter of the year. It actually beating Chase, which I think that to me it was huge. We actually become more stable, more strong than ever. We actually has like present before the Silicon Valley in 22 states. So we are coast to coast from Florida to California. Here in the northern side, I think it's like coming up is thanks to the SVB. We're gonna be in Boston, but so far right now, the northern state here in the Northeast is Maryland. We actually have a very unique business strategy. The bank actually have 125 years in the business, in the industry. 125 years sounds easy, but it's huge. We are centralized in North Carolina and Raleigh. That's where our headquarters is at. That's where the family actually is at. We still have this first location that we opened 125 years ago. It's still operating in North Raleigh. Beautiful city, beautiful location. But in North and South Carolina, we actually have what everybody is familiar with the retail system, like locations in every corner. Nobody's more convenience in North and South Carolina than the First Citizens Bank.
Great, we have a lot of these
those two
North Carolina.
states. Outside of the two states, we actually have what we call like the target market. Basically, is focusing on business clients only. So we actually have few locations in every single state, but it's like the main focus is to basically target the clients that are the right fit for us, and we're the right fit for them. So we are specialized in some specific industries. For many, many years, we was being known as the medical bank with doctors, surgeons, lawyers. They can actually get anything they want with us, very easy. Recently, we are expanding that to the skill trade industry. So we now more like emphasis on plumbers, electricians, HVACs,
Oh, nice.
and yes, because we understand that it's like they are the most principal essential workers and companies in the industry that basically maintain the general contractors alive.
Mm-hmm.
So general contractors can basically be left and right, but it's like the electrician contractors, the plumbers contractors, the HVAC contractors are gonna be there years and over years and over years. They normally are more like a family-owned businesses that we are really, really well appetized for those. But other than that, I mean, it's like First City is a great institution. We actually are now bring clients into the business and the book of business just because we don't open accounts just left and right. Like a client's just coming into my office and say, I want to open an account. I question it. I was like, this is fraud. I mean, it's like we're not advertised. We're not basically out there looking to open the door and you can walk in and open accounts like that. We have most of our clients by referrals, or that we actually get like a really good full training to basically go out there and use our resources to look out in the market the best or the clients that actually right fit for our business model. And but once we actually reach you out is because you being selected. We actually understand that your business model is gonna work with our model and we're gonna actually spend it and build a long-term relationship. So it's not only open like in a lending product, it's like we want to basically build a family environment where we can grow with you and we can actually build like a long-term relationship.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
Nice. So we're gonna have you talk about products, and I think you can get into like the deposit stuff in a minute. But I want to jump kind of like most of our clients and most of our people that is watching right now and who will watch the recording. Okay, they're investors, so they're looking for capital. They're looking for cash flow. They're looking for those type of things. So I want to jump into it. I know you have on the business side, you do offer a business line of credits, and I want you to just kind of talk about what is a business line of credit for maybe people out there that don't know. How is it different than your traditional like consumer side? Like, what are the differences between doing consumer and a business line of credit? If you could just discuss that a little bit, it would be great.
Sure, absolutely. Let me start with the what a business line of credit is. Well, for those that are familiar with a credit card, for example, instead of actually carrying a credit card in your wallet and your purse, you're gonna have a business line open in the bank that you can utilize for working capital. So that means that we actually will be able to qualify you for in a business line for YXC amount. Based on the criteria that is like what it makes sense for the business itself. But it's like, for example, if electrician actually need like $100,000 credit line for a working capital, we actually open that line where the business owners can go into that line and draw money as far as they actually have availability, right? So
Mm-hmm.
and they actually will be able to start making payments on interest only. So a lot of investors they're probably on the call today will be actually finding interesting that it's like they know that they actually purchase an property that is not gonna they're not gonna own forever. They're just gonna buy it at the best price possible, do the maintenance that they would like to do, and resell that property in the next 90 or 120 days, right?
Yeah.
That is great opportunity for them to basically say, let me have and borrow money, pull money out of that line of credit, maybe not purchase the property because you probably have your own capital for that. But it's like, let's say that I need money to basically do the rent. I mean, the renovation on the property. I need like a $80,000 to do the fix the house, get it ready to resell back again. And you know that it's like you're gonna put money out of that line, and you actually gonna start paying interest immediately after you make the first draw.
Right.
So you're gonna make interest payment only for month to month. And if you like to make that payment and like in 3 months you actually sell back the house and you collect all your money back, you go back to the bank and say, hey, here's your $80,000 back. Your line of credit is available for it again. So it's kind of like lending money to yourself. It's kind of like have that kind of safe in your house where you can go and take money out, but you actually promise the vault that you're gonna come back and pay back.
Nice.
It's interest, yeah, it's some interest involved. The interest is variable, which I think is really crucial to explain that. I mean, I want clients to understand that it's like the interest variable is something that is basically based on the market. Right now, you watch news. I recommend you to not watch too much news because you're gonna get panicked. But it's like the interest. the interest rate is being just basically climbing in the last 90 days, like not stop. And I think it's for a lot of different reasons, but I don't want to be into politicians
Yeah.
subject, but it's like, it seems that it's like the only solution that is the government have to control the inflation is to basically increase the interest rates so they can maintain people in control and not overspend when, and trying to maintain the money in control. So long story short, right now we are in I think the prime rate is 5.5, I think it is. I already lose track because it changed every other week.
It's changing, yeah.
So I think the prime rate is what the Federal Reserve and the market itself is basically saying this is the bottom line, what the interest rate is going to look like for any lending situations that you would like to approach. So if you like to say, hey, bank, AYNC Bank, I need money. So 5.5 is going to be the minimum interest rate that any bank will charge you, plus the risk factor on that loan. So that being said, it is like any bank is going to lending you money also based on your credit score and your credit history. Businesses also, Fox, they are in the call. Businesses also build credit. So once you actually create and what incorporate your business, like as LLC, as a corporation, immediately you actually fell into a credit bureau that is only for businesses. So the same way that you actually been taking care of well your personal credit, you have to take care of your business credit as well. By the time that you submit an application at any banks, more specifically on the top 20 banks, they're gonna utilize the personal credit as a guarantor and also the business credit and see if basically what is the risk that we're gonna take to spending that lending product to you guys. So depending on the amount that you request, depending on your credit score, depending on the annual revenue, I mean, all the information that we gather and we pick it up from the business owners, we use all that data to make a decision if we're gonna be able to extend in the amount of money that you request, or we're gonna contra offer for something lower, or technically speaking, we're not gonna be able to extend that business now credit to you guys.
Okay.
Got it.
So, can I ask one more question? Follow up with that. So let's talk about these business line of credits. You, in your case, for the I don't know if that's the correct word for the office, for your offices, say in Maryland, if you don't have, or in the areas that people don't have access to the retail side, how do they open accounts? So like, can someone from Texas call you right now and say, Wilfredo, can I need to open, I want to look at your commercial products, I want to open an account. Can they do that or not?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, obviously we're gonna go state by state. We actually recommend to customers basically reach their local offices. We do have offices in Dallas and Houston. So we have offices in Texas that you can reach out. Obviously, you're more than welcome to reach me out. I can definitely, pivot you, and I can basically direct you to the person who you can talk to. And this person will follow up with you and establish that relationship with you. Now, for those states, like we're not in 52 states. So in those states that we're not present, it's a little bit more difficult for us to basically extending lending products, because we want to basically work with the local businesses where we have a footprint.
Makes sense.
Right now we're struggling. Oh, California, I just see Vilma send a text. Vilma, yes, California is actually one of the largest target states, where we have maybe around 15 locations are around California. So we have presence and coverage in California, especially after the conversion and the acquisition of Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley actually inherited us 17 locations in California, alone plus whatever we already have there.
Awesome, nice.
Very nice.
All right. So let's talk about, so I come to you, and I say to you, let's say I go to my local, so I live in Charlotte right now. I go to my local First Citizens, and I get I open my bank account, my business bank account. I've already been in business, say 2 years. I've already done the history, the credit. I have 5 to 6 houses that are under my LLC that I flipped or I have now as rentals. I open my business account with you. At what point can I start applying for the business line of credit? Or is that something that once I open the account a week later, you guys are going to call me and say, hey, after reviewing all your information, you've been approved? Or do I have to physically apply?
Okay, so that's a great question. So for those that already are in states where we have a footprint and you can visit, even call me. I mean, it's like, we love to help anyone. But if you go to the local locations, what they are gonna looking for is to make sure that you establish that relationship with the bank. And everything starts with your operation account, with your everyday checking for the business. We basically tell the bank, what is your livelihood? How do you operate? What is the type of money that you move around? So that relationship is crucial because we care about that. More specifically, recently we have like clients that probably the credit score is something that is a challenge for them because their credit score is a little low. It is not basically meeting the minimal requirements that we actually have as a minimal requirement. But the relationship itself is helping us to qualify them because they've been banking with us for maybe over 2 years. The operation accounts are with us. They have probably like a very good balances in their accounts. They can actually give us confidence and they say, hey, this is a good, true business owner that is basically doing business very legit. The credit score is maybe not there, but it's like, let's helping them. Let's start the line of credit that they need, but maybe they request for 100. Let's do something for 50. Let's see how they can actually manage that. But most business owners need to understand that it's like the same way that you start building your credit when you was younger, when you first take your credit card, with your first credit card, with your first car loan. The business normally start building credit with the business credit card. It's the easy, not the easy, but it's like it's the first step that we introduce business owners to get and build credit at the business level. We approve them business credit cards. The business credit card can actually get a loan depending how many years they be in business. Business are established for over 2 or 3 years. Most likely they have an opportunity to basically reach out this location, open their operation accounts, bring their balances and say, you know what, I need a credit card, I need a business line of credit. Everything can be together in simultaneously. Yes, you have to submit those applications with the business banker that is taking care of your relationship. A lot of things we actually do remotely. You can call me. I mean, my business clients, I only meet them the first time that I basically need to see their face. After that, they can email me, they can call me. My cell phone is 24/7. In my work email, I have my laptop with me all the time. So anything that you need, if like a weekend, you're in a happy hour, you're in a party, you're in a wedding, and somebody brings some questions in reference to business, and you would like to reach your banker, First Citizen will actually bring you that type of service. So line of credits right now is basically in First Citizen is annual renewal. So we open a line of credit, and every year you have to renew your line of credit.
Okay.
Got it.
The opportunity that you have, the years over years that you can, if you use well your line of credit, it's exactly the same how you use your credit card. The only minimum requirement is that the credit card, the healthy use is 30% capacity, right? But we never actually ask you to pay it off your credit card all the time. And business line of credit, we open a line of credit. Let's say that we open it today. We have 12 months to utilize that line of credit, but in the month 11, you have to pay it off that line to down to zero. So when the renovation comes on the month 12, we have to have that line of credit and zero balance. That help you to request an increase on your line. So if your line was open for 50,000 in the first year, and your business line of credit is paid off in your month 11, and then we can actually increase it to 75 to 100. So all depends how well you use your business line of credit. Exactly the same how you use your credit cards and things like that.
That's awesome. You actually did part of my question, so that's awesome. The other part is, does line of credits do you guys have fees, annual fees on your line of credits? Is it a percentage or is it a straight fee? What is it?
Great question. Yes, we actually have an annual fee. It's $250 per year. No matter how much you actually have your line of credit, it's going to be $250 you have to pay for annual fee. Also, the interest rate that you will pay on the balances, if you carry over balances month to month, at the variable rate is possible.
Got it. Okay. Nice. So I mean, go ahead, Marie.
I was going to ask, how are you guys? We have a lot of our clients that may be watching today. They're established clients, long term. They have a long history of credit. but a lot of them have with their business accounts. They have Home Depot credit cards, Lowe's, and they already have, like I said, LLC. They've done loans with their LLCs to buy properties. However, some of these clients only have I-10. Now they have history with their I-10 as well. Some, not all. But do you guys accept I-10 holders?
That's a great question. Hopefully in the near future, that is something that we'll be able to accommodate in the bank. Right now, we're not be able to help the tax ID number holders. I heard that some other institutions are targeting that type of market because it's a huge market. It's a very interesting market. For example, the most common right now that come out of my head is Bank of America. Bank of America bring lending products to business owners, even like the personal levels, like somebody with a tax ID here with no legal status in the country, they actually extend like a $500 credit card immediately, right? Boom, give it. So First Citizen is not in that level yet. It might be something that we can probably reset as a strategy in the near future because it's a very interesting market. It's a huge market to basically jump in. But at this moment, we're not able to basically help anybody that actually have a tax ID number to qualify for any type of lending product in First Citizen.
Okay, no problem. Okay, sounds good. I needed to ask that really.
So, well, my last.
Can you have the question?
I don't know if this is my last question. Yeah. Can I get an idea of? Let's start. I know banking because Marie and I both came from banking, so we know there's different tiers and stuff in banking. But let's just say 250,000 and below. What if I wanted a line of credit and I'm a business? What is out there? What is going to be entail? What kind of what are you going to be looking for? Credit, asset wise, all that stuff. What's the easiest process you have if there is one? Let's say 250 and below.
That's a great question. Listen, in First Citizen, we actually trying to utilize 10% of your annual revenue as a good amount to extending the line of credit, for example. So 250 is basically not something that I would say that it's like we're not gonna require any type of financials. It go up to case by case by the underwriter. Sometimes say even though it's $100,000 line of credit, it might be the underwriter say, you know what, we're gonna need to see some financials. That basically means like tax returns for the business and the guarantor of the business, like the business owner more specifically. Every owner, we over 25% ownership in the account and the business have to be a guarantor on any loan application. But up to 250, I don't want to say that it's like we're not gonna require any type of financial. You go case by case, you go by the client's records, by the business itself, how many years they be in banking and business, what type of business is. I mean, it's like the industry is crucial, right? So I know that the flippers, I don't know what it's called, that industry, but I would say that it's like the realtors, the commercial realtors or whatever. It's like that industry is a little risky, right? Because obviously they actually buy properties and we don't have nothing guaranteed against the property. So we only have the line of credit. It's unsecured. So 250 is a good amount to basically picture that we don't maybe not require some documents, but over 250, immediately we're gonna require like 2 years of tax returns, personal and business, some P&Ls, some profits and losses reports, some balance sheets, some debt schedule. I mean, we go a little bit more in deep. I would see how healthy the business is to give us like some kind of level of confidence that we're gonna be able to establish that line of credit you're approaching to us.
Wow,
awesome.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. So yeah. All right. So let me just rephrase this to make sure I heard this correct. So forgive me. So every year you guys do your review. So let's say I open a business account, I have a decent credit, and then I don't apply for a line of credit. So when you guys do your annual reviews, do you look at those people that haven't applied? Maybe
no.
I would have to apply. I would have to tell you.
You have to apply again. Yes.
I have to let you know.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Just want you to know. I know some banks, you know, some banks, I don't know in your previous banks, like they automatically like say you already been pre-approved after a certain amount of time. didn't BB&T do that a long time ago, back in the early 2000s? I remember. Oh, they did it with credit cards, I think it was.
Yeah, with different products, I think it's like large institutions use a lot of data that they actually accumulate years over years, and they utilize that data later for marketing, and it's kind of recycling all that data years over years. In fact, a lot of people actually receive in the mail like a pre-approval letter saying, "Hey, you pre-approved for this," and that is just a hook, because maybe it's just basically data that we actually collect years ago. We're still utilizing to connect with the client, but when the client submit the application itself, they decline, because we go by what is going on right now in your credit history.
At the moment, present moment. That's correct. Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Hey, now that I have you on the phone, Ken, I'm sorry, I have you on the phone for commercial, for flippers, if they want to go the traditional side. Do you guys have products for them? Because I get that question a lot of times, and I know that
specifically.
So
give me a scenario.
So I want to. Well, I know that you guys don't. I don't think banks do the rehab part. But if I want to buy a 20 unit, multi-unit, 20 units, you guys do that financing. I'm going to rent it out. All the units, or the units are already. You guys do those products as well, right? The type of loans for long term.
We're not so appetized for the residential real estate investments.
Okay.
So we actually are doing better execution on the commercial real estate owner occupied.
Okay. Commercial real estate owner occupied.
Yeah, but for investors, I mean, it's like I heard that it's like we're probably gonna start doing something more differently maybe next year. But it's like we will see how the economy actually readjusts itself. Right. But it's like right now we are not basically appetized or open or welcome people that would like to basically buy like an apartment complex, for example, or they would like to build like a new residential homes. No, we actually more in the commercial real estate owner occupies, and if it's an investment, commercial real estate, it's case by case, and depending on how strong that relationship you have with the bank already.
Got it. Okay, all right. And then these loans, that commercial owner occupied loans, let's say if I went and buy a restaurant, how long are they taking nowadays? Because I remember before we left the bank, I've been wanting to ask this to a banker. Before we left the bank, and it's different banks, not your bank. These were taking, how long were you taking in your bank, Ken, back in the day? Mine were taking like 3 to 5 months.
2 months, 3 months?
No. And give me another. Right now, we actually in the 45 days range.
Oh, wow. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, the speed is basically our specialty. Like I said again, it's like if it's the right industry, if it's the right client, if it's the right, everything is, all the planets get aligned all together, we can actually close them in 30 days. Sometimes what is basically is stopping us and delay the process is the appraisals. Yeah. Sometimes the appraisal, sometimes basically the letters of intent, sometimes the seller and the buyer, they don't get an agreement. We probably have the kind of pre-approval already, but it's like, come on, give us what is the right final number,
Yeah,
for
sure.
Because we have to schedule the reappraisal, and the appraisal sometimes is the time maker. If they actually send those back quickly to us, in 30 days we are out and closing.
Nice. Okay.
Got it. Cool. Okay. Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, I think the only thing that I would like to basically recap on all this about First Citizen, and like I said at the beginning, is like it's all about the relationship that we can build with the business owners. At the end of the day, if you are looking forward to establish a relationship with us for the lending piece, I want you to be aware of that we're gonna require you to basically bring your entire banking relationship with us. So one of the things that we want to make sure, and we can make this really straight and transparent to the business owner, is like we also are taking care of your deposit. So it's not just the fact that we're asking you to bring us your deposit for us to be able to give you the lending product. No, the reality is that it's like we want to make sure that for you and for the institution, the cost of lending it reduces when we actually have you deposits as well. Because if we're gonna be able to pay you interest rate on your deposit, You basically say, I'm collecting 3%, in my business saving account, in my balance, and I have to pay 7% of my lending. What's your real cost of your lending? It's basically 3%.
Yeah.
4%. Sorry, I say 3 and 7. So it's 4% what you basically are paying for your lending product. So it's not real 7. So people have to basically see the big picture, that it's not only about the 7, 8, or 9% that we give you or we pricing you loan. It's also about what we can pay you back and you deposit and you balance it.
Good. Speaking of, and before you leave, your deposit accounts, do you have for the new little guys that are starting out, do you have the basic business accounts?
Basic checking account. We have a checking account. We have 3 levels, 3 tiers of checking accounts. Okay, and really depends on what is going to be the right fit for the clients. For example, I have a business checking account. The basic one is not going to require any minimum balance, but basically any treasury management product or any additional product you like to get, you're going to pay a full price of that product. For example, because we're not in every single corner, some business owners are going to require to have their remote deposit and capture. That is basically the machine that you can run your own checks in your own office. So if you actually have the base checking, you're going to have to pay the full price for the service, monthly service fee for the machine to basically be in your office. We actually have the second tier, is basically an account that is going to require a minimum of $25,000 minimum balance in your checking account. With the $25,000 in that account, it's going to give you a discount one treasury management at the $15 flat rate. So if I basically have to open an account for someone that is not going to be close to my office, but still would like to banking with me, and the bank is going to be in your house. You don't need, and let's actually move forward in the modernization of the banking. We don't need to have a location across the street from you. All banking is basically online. You have like equipment that you can actually have in your own office. If you have a strong relationship with your banker, honestly, you don't have to stop by at the bank anymore. So let's see in pictures like that. We open an account for the type of business owner that's going to need like an account that it's going to maintain a minimum $25,000 in that account. I'm going to be able to give them like the remote deposit and capture for free and only pay $15 a month to basically run their own checks from their own home. Then the next one is going to be $50,000. It's going to give you 2 treasury management at discount at $15 each. And the last one is $75,000. And it's basically 3 discount treasury management that we're going to be able to give you. So, and for those large corporations that we actually are going to have over $300 or $500, $1,000 in their account, we actually open what we call the analysis checking. That basically is a little bit more complex account. It's going to come with more benefits. But again, it's all that really depends on what we actually build as a rapport. We actually understand the business need, and we accommodate and we actually recommend you the right account based on the need of the business at that time. Now, you probably start now at the 25,000, and your business start growing and growing. We use basically start-based maintenance that relationship. If we actually have to graduate you from B1 to a B2, from B2 to B3, that's what the real banker is supposed to do for you and your business. Grow with your business, understand what is the business need. If we need to basically change the type of the product that you actually start off with us, we have to manage that account year over years, because the business actually change every 12 months, every 6 months. I mean, it really depends on what type of industry you are. But some business owners actually start very small at the beginning, and 2 years they're like $2 million.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I've been seeing a lot in our Latinos community as in the cleaning industry, like in the landscaping industry. They start like as solo proprietorships. 2 years they're in LLCs. In 3 years they're like Inc. because they actually go from $100,000 a year to 2 or 3, 5 million a year, and in only like 2 or 3 years period of time.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. So just to open an account though, if I'm opening, let's say that $25,000 one, or no, the minimum, that one, the one with the one treasury management discount or free. With that one, I just bring my LLC, let's say it's an LLC, my operating agreement, articles, my EIN.
Correct. And also the information for the business owner who actually going to be in the account.
Right, because the part that's where you also that we sign who's also the owners, right? The membership in the anybody over 25. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Also,
and-
listen,
mhm.
a lot of clients, a lot of business owners, they just basically pay in a CPA or whoever and a registered agent to basically file their articles, right? Incorporate the business with the state where they are. State by state, you actually have to pay an annual fee to actually be in good standing with the state.
Yep.
So that is basically an annual fee to basically do business in the state itself. So the state has to collect that fee year over year. If you do not pay attention, you not pay that fee year over year, the state is gonna put you in a good standing in the state. If your business is not in good standing with the state, the banks are not gonna be able to open any type of account for you guys. So open you LLCs, open you Incs, but maintain that relationship with the state, making sure that you pay year over year that annual fee with the state, because the first thing that I'm gonna do when I collect data, when I collect the articles from you guys and your EIN number, I'm gonna go into the estate and see if you're in good standing or not. If you're not in good standing, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to move forward until you basically pay the estate and become in good standing. And the state of Maryland is pretty good. You actually pay that, and probably in a couple hours, they update the information and the state website, and we can actually move quickly on that way. But I don't know what other states' process is, but it's like in Maryland, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, most states I've noticed, most states, not all of them, they can be they can be pretty quick. I know that in North Carolina, New Jersey, some of the people that, because we also require them to have a good standing. So sometimes they miss that 2-3 months that they didn't pay. So then it goes in right away. So, but that's a good tip for sure. People, they forget to do that. So that's awesome. Well,
another one. I want to basically share all my experience with my Latino community and all the hiccups that I've been. It's common, and I want to basically bring it to the attention because it's common. Large corporations, very good business owners, very good Latinos successfully from the outside. But at the beginning, listen, business owners, at the beginning, you actually fell in a very common mistake. You not pay your taxes to the IRS, or you not pay your taxes to the estate. Then the estate or the IRS put liens on you and your business. And when it's time to basically lending, you probably be making the money, you have the balances in your accounts, you at the personal level, you have a great credit. But guess what? The estate or the IRS actually have liens on your accounts. And that basically stopped the bank to basically lending you money as well. So please, 2 things that I want you to be taking away today as a business owner. Take care of your credit, take care of your business credit, pay your taxes. Question it if your CPA is basically trying to help you or basically trying to create a problem long term for your business. At the beginning, yes, most business owners want to reduce the opportunity to pay taxes, but don't think that it's like years over years you're gonna actually not showing profitability in your documents. Don't think that it's like that. It's healthy. It's healthy for the short term and for you to not pay taxes to the Uncle Sam. But when you actually knock the door at the bank, you have to show that your business is profitable. So don't be afraid to grow healthy and do the right thing from the very beginning.
I am so happy you said that. I noticed that that's an issue with a lot of people. But I like what you said. Grow healthy. Don't be afraid.
Grow healthy and sustainable.
Yep.
Make the difficult decision. Make the difficult decisions now at the beginning, because it will actually sooner than later, it's gonna catch you up later in the years. I have an experience with somebody 20 years plus. Man, it was so depressing. It was so discouraged that I was like, the business legit, so sustainable, economically speaking, carry over like $1,000 and tax liens with the IRS, and that's it. We cannot basically lending them. It's unfortunate.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, definitely.
Crazy.
Also, and we say this in a lot of our lives. Also, make sure you're talking to some certified accountant, not a tax preparer, especially if you have a business account. They don't know what they're doing.
CPAs are the same way that you actually grew up in the school, right? So you 6 years old, you're in first grade. But when you're already like 15 years old, you're already in high school. So you're in a different school, in a different facility. So if you start with your CPA when you start the business, and it was like in a small CPA that is charging you like a small fee that is cheap, it's fine. But when your business grow into the 500 to $1 million revenue, it's time to basically looking for those CPAs that have the capacity and the experience to deal with people in your site, because they will actually give you the right recommendations about what is the healthy decision that you can make and stay in compliance. I'm not CPA. I'm not here to tell you what to do or recommend you anything about taxes or anything like that. But it's like, if your business grows, you have to go into the professional that have the capacity to deal with you the side of your business.
Absolutely. I could have said it better. That you're so right about that. Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Well,
this was very educational. So Will, thank you so much.
I love it
so much for joining us, man. Oh, actually, wait, we got one comment we missed. What's the number I can call?
Yeah, what's a good number?
Vilma Diaz, same one that asked you do California.
Let me see. It really depends on what part of the state of California you are, but let me see what offices that we have across the state. Listen, and again, it's like, I'm gonna tell you this, because the type of the way that we do business in California, we're not a metro area. We still also target like in Maryland. So if you call, listen, this is a recommendation. If you call the office, just randomly like that, hey, I would like to basically see if I can open an account with you. They're gonna actually say, they're gonna question it, and they're probably gonna think that you're a scammer. So that's how beautiful is the type of business that we do. We don't actually do business just randomly like that. What I'm gonna be able to do is I'm gonna put my number, my email address, reaching me out. I will introduce you to the person close by in your area, and they're gonna reach you out. So I don't want you to nobody close the door in your nose, because you're calling the offices just randomly like that, asking questions that is like, that's what most scammers actually do. So we're not that type of bank that we're gonna collect calls and we're gonna get excited because you wanna open an account with us. So let us reaching you out. I can share my phone number, my office number, my email address, reaching me out. I will be PV you. I will actually introduce you to the person in your area, and they're gonna work closely with you. And that's where you actually start building that relationship with the bank.
Very nice. Thank you.
Can you put it in our private chat, and maybe we'll have our host put your email and phone number.
I never been using this platform, so educating me, I feel a little bit.
In the bottom,
I can see it now. I can see it now.
Private chat. Okay.
Very nice.
So, well, we had some really good stuff. Banking is very interesting. A lot of people don't understand it, but I'm glad you gave us a very good overview. And First Citizen's doing really good. Like, it's just, I like it. I like the way that you guys care for your clients. You kind of like, it's like a VIP,
It's a VIP.
Take care of your clients.
You know what I tell my prospects, or my clients? First Citizen roll the red carpet to onboard you into the bank. A difference the other banks, they do the same. They roll the red carpet. They get so excited, and you actually shake hands of many people when you open that account in the largest institution. Once you're already in the pool, they roll the carpet and roll it to somebody else. And First Citizens, we roll the carpet for you. We keep it. Nice. So in my banking career, I never have to put my cell phone number on my business card. I have to do it in this business. Oh, wow. I can basically tell you that it's like it's so intense. You can call me anytime. It's 24/7. I always tell them, I'm a private banker. If you never have that experience, welcome to that service, because it's very tailored. It's very unique. And we understand your business. We advocate. We become your lawyers in the bank when it's time to basically advocate for you when you need something in the bank. So that's why we don't bring anybody just because. It's because whoever is already in, you and the privilege of a group that you're gonna grow with the bank. The bank is not. You're gonna have some resolutions from the bank when you're already in.
Yeah.
Right.
We are very selective.
Very nice.
Love it.
Awesome. Well, you know what?
Salud.
Well, thank you
Salud.
so much.
Cheers. Good info.
I'm already done. I can't do another one.
Man, you go to the happy hours, they only allow you to buy one drink.
I know.
My happy hour, yeah. But anyway.
Also for any Spanish speakers that prefer to speak to someone in Spanish, Wilfredo, I know you mentioned at the beginning, but he talks both Spanish and English, so you'll be more than happy to talk to him in Spanish.
I speak Spanish and I speak Spanglish.
English, I know. Exactly. So
English is not my second language. It's my third or fourth. I learn every day. So don't be discouraged. Be brave. For those business owners, Latinos, they basically English think that it's gonna be the biggest barriers that you have. Take away that complex, ese complejo. Say things wrong, correct them. The only way that we have to learn is basically making mistakes. That is in general and everything in life. We don't learn from like other people's experience, and we don't learn everything in the school. We have to basically go out, say stupid things. People are gonna laugh, and you're gonna feel bad. But guess what? The only way that you can learn is correcting. Let them laugh. It's like it's okay. Correct them, learn, and move on. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. It's been an honor having you.
Thank you.
Give us some good information. I even learned a lot of things from you today that, although I was in banking, I've been out of the loop a lot. So thank you so much. A lot of good.
The honor has been mine.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for being me over.
Thanks for coming on. Peace out, everybody.
Invite me more often. I love this.
That's what we're gonna do.
We'll have you back on. Bye,
All right, bye everyone.